And welcome back to another episode of the Body Confidence Project podcast. I'm your host, Emma J. Moorcroft, and I have Sarah here, who's worked with me for the past year, and we're going to talk through her journey and how she's dropped an incredible amount of weight. So, over to you, Sarah. Just introduce yourself. Who are you? What were your goals before joining me?
Thanks, Em. So I'm Sarah. So I joined you because I'd felt I'd just lost my way a little bit. I wanted to drop some body weight, and I just didn't know really where to start. It just felt like a huge mountain to climb, and it's not something I felt I could tackle on my own. So I sought your help.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. So, share a little bit about your backstory. You're a mum, you work obviously full time as well. In terms of like juggling your priorities, where were you on that priority list before starting with me?
Down the bottom, way down the bottom. Yeah, so I work full time. I've got two children who have very busy social lives themselves. So it's constantly just sort of running around after them, taking them to their activities after school and things like that. So yeah, I just felt I was probably put anything I needed at the end of that list. And there was never any time for myself to do any activities I wanted to do. And I suppose if there was, it would be way at the bottom of the list. I'd sort of find other things to do first, I think.
Yeah.
Just having a bit of mum guilt, I guess, not wanting to take anything away from them.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And we'll touch upon that mum guilt shortly. Now, you joined me, I think it was
Mm,
like the 30th of November last year, right before Christmas. And I know
mm.
a lot of people would think I couldn't join them because I need to enjoy Christmas. Talk me through your experience. First of all, why did you join just before Christmas? And how was it over the Christmas period?
So I joined at that time because I just felt I didn't want to be in an even worse position. Perhaps in the January, everybody dreads January. Everybody wants to lose weight, save money, not go out, not do anything like that. So I think I just wanted to get into some kind of habit and routine before the Christmas period and not be another half a stone up and have an even huge mountain to climb in the January. So I just felt I needed some kind of structure in place in the lead up to Christmas. So I didn't sort of let it spiral, I guess. Um, Christmas was fine. It was still great. I went on quite a number of Christmas stews with work, with friends and colleagues and things. So I didn't miss out on anything, but I just felt I had a little bit more control over them. And yeah, in the lead up to Christmas, I just said I still enjoyed myself. I still ate the foods I enjoyed and drank the alcohol I wanted. Just had a little bit more control over it.
Because you actually lost £6 in December. I don't know if you remember.
I lost you then.
Am I coming through okay?
Now you are, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you actually
Sorry.
lost that's okay. You actually lost £6 in December. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, vaguely. I didn't realize it was £6. Yeah.
Did you ever think that was possible in the month of December?
No, no, not at all. Because I think previously there'd always been a reason not to do something like this. It's always, oh, well, it's somebody's birthday, or I've
Mhm.
got a night out. I've started after that. I've started after Christmas, and then before you know it, it's Easter and another half term and things like that. So I just thought if I didn't do it then, I wouldn't do it. There'd always be another excuse. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought I've just got to do it now, otherwise I wouldn't do it at all. So,
And I love
yeah.
that, as you said, like there's always been an excuse not to do it. So what
Mm.
was the sort of turning point? Did you have a moment where you thought, right, enough is enough? Like, what was it? Was it a moment getting dressed? Was it for a social occasion? What sort of triggered you to be like, I need to speak to Emma?
Yeah, I think it was just I had a number of work dues, Christmas dues with friends and things, and I just wanted to feel a little bit better in myself. I knew I wouldn't, well, I didn't think I'd lose any weight in the December at all. But I just wanted to feel perhaps a little bit more confident going into those, events.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to put it off until after the Christmas. As I said, there's a number of Christmas parties, New Year's events and things like that. So I just wanted to find my feet before January, I think.
Amazing. Okay. So tell the audience then, what have been your specific results since working with me in terms of how you feel, how you look, any sort of tangible wins that you can share?
I just feel like a totally different person, so much more confident. Um, I look completely different, I feel. I've bought the clothes I want to wear. And I sort of had an idea of things I wanted to wear before, when I lost the weight. So I don't even sort of think now, is this going to suit me? Is this going to, is this going to look okay on me? I just go for it. Just pick up my size with confidence. I think I've lost 31, 32 pounds now, since starting. Yeah, and it's not just the weight loss. I just feel everything. I just feel better in my skin as well, my hair, my skin. I just feel fitter and healthier as well. As well as the weight loss, I feel like there's a whole package to it, not just
Mm,
dropping the pounds.
love that. And you cut your hair as well.
I did. I cut my hair off short. Yeah, I used to have longer hair, and it was kind of like a little bit of a mask, I guess. But yeah, had a moment and thought, no, I'm going to do it.
Love it. And of course you wear, not dark colour clothes anymore. I remember you sending me through like a
No, yeah,
coloured tracksuit, well, tracksuit bottoms and top. I mean, how has
yeah.
that changed how you feel in terms of being able to just pick up what you want? I mean, do you feel like you're more of a happier person? Like, how has that resulted?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd always go for darker clothes, thicker jumpers and things like that. I just totally changed my work wardrobe. Said like much lighter clothes, shorter sleeves. Yeah, I just feel like I can, as I said, I don't need to go into the shop and think, try it on, see this color, see if it covers everything I want it to cover. Yeah, I just feel like I know it's going to look good on me, so I'll just get it anyway. And
Love
one
it.
in every color, which I've done a few times.
Love it. Okay. Let's talk about that mum guilt then. Obviously, prior to starting the journey,
Mm.
you thought you were going to be taken away from your children. Has it taken away from your children, or what's been the result of that?
No, I don't think it has actually. I think I've just made a bit of a conscious effort to have that time for myself. That and I think it's perhaps there was excuses before, or I haven't got time to do that. I've got to make sure I do this, that, and the other. But I just found if I plan my day, plan my week, I can sort of do everything around the children as well. There's so much more time if you're planning your days, and if before work I've got time to do things, planning my meals for the week,
Mhm.
going for my walk, doing my steps. So yeah, I think planning for me was key in finding those pockets of time where I could have that time to myself. And instead, it's not just going for the walk; it's just having some. I use the word headspace a lot now. So having the headspace for me, just thinking about,
Yeah,
so planning my week out with what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to do, when I'm going to have my walks, when I'm going to have my sort of 10 minutes to myself and do what I want to do.
amazing. How do you feel you feeling happy and healthy in yourself has impacted your family?
Um, they've definitely noticed, I think, a difference in just perhaps the way yeah, just my confidence, I suppose. And they've picked up on perhaps some of my better habits I've learnt. And it's nice to be able to include them in those things as well. I said they're teenagers now, so they are picking up on, eating healthier. And yeah, they're sort of asking me lots of questions. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And you
Mm.
can see the penny almost dropping. The steps as well. My daughter's loving being included on them. Not
Oh,
all the time, I'll be honest, but she does sort of it's like a challenge now with the steps, how many we've done, and we've got a walking pad now because this the weather's coming in. So I said I want to make sure I still do my steps,
yeah,
and I don't like the rain. So I wanted to make sure I still get them. So, but yeah, they're sort of included in them rather than me having that mum guilt and saying taking that hour just for myself. there are things that we can do together,
Yeah, I love that.
which is really
Oh,
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, next question then. So, obviously, across the journey, you've improved your steps, your food, your exercise. What was the biggest thing that you've learned on the journey?
Um, for me, it's the full circle. So, and I've only learned that, I suppose, recently because it's not just tracking food and calories. You've got to do it all. You've got to tick all those boxes for it to work. So recently returned back from a holiday, and I said I'm going to get straight back into it, track all my food, done that, but I realized I wasn't ticking off all the other habits every day. It took me, a week or two to sort of get
Yeah.
back into that. Um, and then it was progress again. But I said I didn't go into a panic, I got to reduce my calories,
Hmm.
even more. I just went back, thought, what have I not done that I would have done, you know, before the holiday? As I said,
Yeah.
it was everything. So the steps, the drinking the water, all those things that I've learned, it's the full picture. You've got to do them all for it to work.
Yeah. Amazing. Awesome. Now, of course, the journey hasn't been plain sailing. If, someone looking in might
Mm.
just see your end result or your where you are now, thinking, oh my God,
Hmm.
how easy it was. But of course, it's not just plain sailing. What was I suppose, the biggest mindset shift you had to make? Because I know sometimes there was weeks where we didn't see progress, and that
Mm.
scale weight can impact how you view the journey. Am I doing this right? Should I cut calories? And obviously, I'm there to reassure you. But how did that impact you, and what lessons did you learn from that? In terms of scale weight.
I think again the scale weight isn't everything either. So I said, when I come back from the holiday, I jumped straight back into tracking the calories. I didn't automatically start ticking everything else off. The scale weight wasn't moving, so I didn't panic. I said I went back, reevaluated what I hadn't done, but I also took pictures and did measurements, and those changed. So
Hmm.
the scale weight didn't move, but the measurements changed. So
Yeah.
I still knew progress was happening as long as you keep doing it. And I think it was perhaps not to panic. I think previously before I would have counted the calories for a week. If the scale hadn't moved, I'd go into a bit of a panic and either dramatically reduce your calories even more or just think, actually, what is the point? This is not working. I'm giving up.
Mhm.
It's just not working. I'd rather just eat what I want and do what I want. If it's not going to work, I may as well do that anyway. But I think it's just really going back and just making sure you are ticking off all those habits and not panicking if it doesn't move one week, because there's lots of things that impact on the scale weight I've learned as well, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, next question then. So, as I said, dramatic transformation with your journey. What advice would you give to other mums out there who might find themselves in the position that you once were in, feeling stuck, not knowing what to do? What would you say to them?
Um, don't hesitate in reaching out to you, definitely. My only regret is not doing it sooner. I think I've said to you before, I kind of watched your page for a while and just thought, oh, I'll drop you a message maybe soon. But don't hesitate. That's the only regret, is just not doing it sooner, I think. Um, yeah, so just don't be afraid to make the changes, I guess. It's not daunting, it's not scary, and it can be incorporated quite easily into your daily routine. It's not a huge, I don't feel it's sort of taken over. It's not a huge commitment on time either. It does take time to sort of get into the new habits and new routines and crack those. But once you're into it, a few weeks into those habits do come more naturally.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you. So let's talk about those habits a little bit more. Now, of course, before you joined, obviously your habits were completely different. Things like going out on
Mhm.
the weekend or going on a holiday, like you've just been on a holiday and you've been on many trips away whilst working together. How have your eating habits and your mindset changed towards those events slash social occasions?
So I think just because you have or I've had a social occasion or a holiday, it doesn't mean that everything can't be ticked off, on your habits. Yes, I've let my hair down and enjoyed myself. I've gone out for meals, had barbecues and things like that. But I said it's not just all about the calories. So when I've been on holiday, as I said, gone to the pub and had my food and drinks where I've wanted. But I've also that day perhaps made a conscious effort to make sure I still do my steps that day, make sure I drink my water, perhaps have a good meal in the morning, keep to my usual breakfast so I know I can eat what I want in the afternoon. And I have been away on some holidays and it hasn't impacted my weight because I've checked off those other habits.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just think having that little bit of structure when you go away, or on a night out as well. It doesn't have to be a three-course dinner if I'm going out for a meal. I will perhaps decide, it depends what is more important to me, if it's the alcohol or the food. And I'll choose before I go. And I just know in advance then, so I plan the week around those events. If I do have a night out, I
Yeah.
plan the week in advance. I've got a couple of events this weekend, so I've planned in advance. I've saved a few calories, and I've just prepared for those and just made sure I've checked off everything around them.
Yeah. Because you used to get nervous for social weekends, and what am I going to eat?
Yeah,
The week after them. How has that
yeah,
changed? Have you got a different mindset around the events now?
yeah, totally different mindset. Yeah, as I said, I'd probably plan in advance what if it's going out for dinner, I plan in advance what I'm going to eat and track it in the app. So I know beforehand how much calories I've got to play around with, and I can tweak things. So yeah, I perhaps look forward to them more now rather than dread them. I think before I'd try and avoid them if I could,
Yeah.
just because I thought it was easier. But obviously, I'd be missing out on the fun as well, and obviously seeing my friends. But yeah, now I'm much more confident, and I don't feel like I'm missing out at all now.
Amazing. That's so good to hear. Fantastic. Thank you. Any sort of last words of wisdom you would share to other ladies in your position?
Um, just really don't hesitate. I think, especially for mums, for me, it was a bit of, well, have I got time for this? You feel perhaps a bit selfish for investing the time and money in yourself, whereas actually you are worth it. You do deserve it, and it'll really will be the best thing you ever do. It's been the best thing I've ever done, and just don't hesitate. Don't sit from afar like I did for so long. And yeah, just do it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sis. So I'm going to end the podcast here.